Hi guys, welcome to my channel Ashkarnor. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So there was a lot of confusion about when to separate the mother leaf from the pup or how to do that. So in this video we are going to be talking about it. Now a lot of times, especially if you are a beginner, you might make a mistake wherein the mother leaf starts to rot. Now at times it might happen because of lack of experience or because the environment is not correct. Like now in my situation, it has been raining, so at times when the water tends to come in contact with the mother leaf starts to rot. So usually what I tend to do is I separate the mother leaf. Now over here, these are some of the pups wherein their mother leaf was rotted. So I separated the pup and I planted them in this cocoa peat and soil mix. Because they're still very small, they're not completely developed, so we can still go ahead and use cocoa peat with soil because these are not adults yet. They are very tiny. They look a little bigger in the camera, but they are very small. So this is one case. Now how do we differentiate between a rotting mother leaf and a dried mother leaf? Now ideally a dried mother leaf is going to look like this. As you can see on the right hand side, this is how a dried mother leaf is. You can see it's it feels very crispy. Right now it's not very crispy because there's a lot of moisture around because it has been raining a lot. So this is how it tends to look like. Now this is a naturally dried mother leaf, and the leaf just fell from my hand, and you can see the moment it fell, it detached itself. There are a little bit of mealy bugs beneath, which I will be using some cinnamon powder, but you can see it just fell from my hand and it got separated. So the dried mother leaf will very easily get detached from the pup. You do not need to put any efforts. Now the pup just fell while I was shooting, and you can see it immediately got detached from the pup without damaging any of the pup leaves. So it becomes very easy to separate the dried mother leaf which has naturally dried. You can see it's completely crisp. Right now it's a little bit moist, that's why it is not very crisp, but otherwise it's very crispy, and you can see there is hardly any water. Everything has been absorbed by the pup. So I will not put it right away in the soil because you can see there are some mealy bugs running around. So I'm going to keep it aside and then I will put it into the soil, just like how I have put these guys in the soil, and you can see they're doing extremely well right now. Whereas the rotted mother leaf, you can see it's slightly discolored. It's not dried out completely. You can see there is a little bit traces of water in the leaf. You can just by the look of it, you can realize that it is rotting because you can see it's not done completely. There are wrinkles. It still has a little bit of water in it. You might have seen my other videos as well. So in this case, what you'll have to do is you'll have to separate the mother leaf from the pup immediately as soon as you see it. Whether the pup has roots or does not have roots, you have to still go ahead and separate it because very soon the rotted mother leaf will transfer the rot onto the pup. The pup that looks very healthy will soon start turning dark in color and will also get rotted. So whether it has roots or it does not have roots, you will have to immediately separate it. Now to separate it, you have to be very careful, very gently tuck it out. At times you might break one leaf like this, but that's absolutely fine. We have our pup that has been separated from the mother leaf. You can see this is how it looks like. It was starting to rot. So we have successfully separated it. Again, there are some mealy bugs in this. I will clean it up and then I will add it onto this soil over here. If you want, you can just leave this leaf as well. It might not survive, but it's okay. So the whole idea over here is without the roots, the pup can be little tricky to grow, but this is the best option what we can do, especially when the mother leaf is rotting, because if you're not going to separate it, the pup will 100% get rotted. So here we can take a chance. It's 50-50. I can't say that it will be successful, but there is a 50-50 chance that the pup will survive, or there is a 50 chance that the pup might not survive. But if the pup is going to stay on a rotted mother leaf, there is a 100% chance that the pup will get rotted. So you would want to take that 50-50 chance when it comes to your leaf propagation. Now here is another example. Here the pups have roots and the mother leaf is completely dried. As I said, the mother leaf will turn slightly darker in color as and when it starts to dry out. So this is the same case over here. So what we'll do is hold the pup. You can see how easily the dry leaf tends to get detached from the pup. So now all we have to do is, there are no mealy bugs on this, so I will just take it, make a small little dent in the soil, because this is a very small pup, so the cocoa peat is absolutely fine, and then just lay it into the soil like this, and we are done. Now all we have to do is just water it whenever the soil tends to dry. Keep a very minimum moisture in the soil. Do not let this dry out, because if you're going to keep this underwater, all of these propagations will dry out and die. Once they dry out, it's very difficult to revive them, so you have to keep a close eye on it. That's the reason why we keep a little bit of cocoa peat, so that a slight moisture is maintained, because the pups need a little bit of moisture compared to the adult succulents. The adult succulents do not like moisture at all, whereas the pups like a very slight amount of moisture. So this is how you successfully separate it. Yeah. Now it's a very common thing for mealy bugs to attack on leaf propagation, because they are much more susceptible to pest attacks. So you do not need to be worried. All you have to do is just give them a little bit of cinnamon sprinkle, and keep them aside for a day or so, and then you can put them into the soil, and then you can sprinkle some more cinnamon powder on the soil. I don't have cinnamon powder right now, so I'll probably do it later. But in this way, you can just take care of it. Slowly, the cinnamon powder will affect the mealy bugs. They will not like the smell of it, and they will start to leave the pot. At times, if you feel that the mealy bugs are still present, then you can just take a small little brush and brush it off. Take the pot away from your other succulents. But at times I tend to not get much worried about mealy bugs, because I just do the sprinkling of dry cinnamon powder every 3 weeks, and that kind of takes care of it. Because at this point of time, if you're going to spray rubbing alcohol, or if you're going to spray any kind of any solution for that matter, the pup will definitely get damaged. So we do not want to spray anything. If you tend to see that there are small little mealy bugs here and there, just take a small little needle or anything that is pointed and just poke them out from. How I tend to do it, you can see these, how I have collected these mealy bugs, and this is some vinegar solution I had made some time back. So I usually collect those mealy bugs and I put them in this solution, and then they die off. So I usually tend to do that. It works out much better than at times when you tend to clean the mealy bugs, they tend to just fly off. So this is the best way what you can do. I usually tend to do this. So I just take a brush, I have the solution of vinegar, and I just very gently brush them off in this solution, so that they don't spread in my other plants or the other succulents that I have. So very close to the jar of the bottle, and I just clean it up. Now this is because it's a very small pup, it becomes much easy. But when I have succulents already in the pot, it's a little difficult to get them closer to this. So then I take them away from my garden and I just brush them off like this. In this, majority of the mealy bugs tend to go off, so this works out really well for me. So now we have the pup that is completely fresh. So in this way I clean it up. I don't have cinnamon powder right now, otherwise I usually use cinnamon powder and then brush it off. It becomes much easy. And you can see the dent that I'm making in the soil is not very deep. It is just one slight little poke, that's all. And then you just take the pup and just leave it on that. You don't need to press it too deep, you just leave it as it is. The pups will start putting out roots, so you just need to lay them on the top layer of the soil with a little bit of hole in the soil, and that's all about it. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.